How's it going, guys? My name is Jimmy Champane and welcome to season 2 of Halloween Alert. So if you've listened to my podcast Fear Frequency Ever, you know I do these every week on that show, but I haven't really called it that over here on my YouTube channel. I figured since we're talking about the sequel to Halloween 2018 now, we've officially moved on from that movie, it's time to unify the name and start season 2 of my favorite video series to make. I'm gonna jump right into this awesome news story, but make sure you stick around at the end because I have some cool stuff to tell you about my channel. Thanks to Brad over at Bloody Disgusting, we've known since October 5th that even before Halloween 2018 came out, Blumhouse was already working on getting a sequel put together. But the interesting and I guess kind of scary thing about it is that David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, and Jeff Fradley weren't attached to that sequel at all. And now thanks to Collider, we know a guy named Scott Teems turned in a script treatment to Blumhouse and they liked it so much they're gonna have him write a whole script for a sequel. I had never heard of Teems before today, but he does have a little bit of experience in the horror genre because just recently Blumhouse hired him to write the scripts for 2 Stephen King adaptations called Firestarter and The Breathing Method. And the cool thing about The Breathing Method is that Scott Derrickson, the director of Sinister and Doctor Strange, is coming back to direct that one. Collider says they don't know what the shooting schedule is for the next Halloween, but I can guarantee you almost that it's not coming out this year. That's because at this time last year they were getting ready to start shooting Halloween 2018 and they don't even seem to have the script fully written yet for the sequel. So I would bet that it's coming out in 2020. And all of this is on top of the fact that this October is extremely packed with new horror movies, so it's obviously a safe bet for Blumhouse to get out of this year with that sequel. Thankfully, it looks like Jamie Lee Curtis, Andi, Matichak, and Judy Greer will all come back for the sequel, but the jury is still out on David Gordon Green. That's kind of alarming and a little disappointing since he said over the past few months that he has ideas for a sequel and that he purposely left characters alive so he could explore them more in a future movie. And of course, Jamie Lee Curtis did say she would come back if David Gordon Green was directing, so it kind of makes you think that if she is coming back, he's probably directing, but since Danny McBride and Jeff Fradley are involved, I kind of don't think he actually will, which is both good and bad. I personally think it's way too early to come down on either side of the fence, but I think we can put at least a little trust in Blumhouse. They made $250 million on a $10 million movie, so they could just turn around and throw out a cash grab this Halloween and move on from the property altogether, but they've proven time and time again that they really do care about this franchise and that the people they have working on it over there know what they're doing. So giving them the benefit of the doubt here and assuming that they know how big of a deal it is they get to make a sequel to last year's Halloween, I don't think they'd give this script to Teems if they didn't really believe in him making something good. And thinking back to way before Halloween 2018 was even announced and Adam Wingard was the rumored director on that one, which would have been awesome, we all threw up some red flags when Danny McBride was announced as the writer, and he did a pretty damn good job. There's no denying that Halloween 2018 was a huge risk for everyone involved. It took a franchise that previously had massive budgets and huge scripts and pared it down to a tiny $10 million movie, and they gave it to a couple of comedians who did a pretty damn good job with it. So knowing that, hopefully the next creative team who comes in and does the sequel gets a little bit looser of a leash from Universal and Trancast and gets to have a little more fun with money and their story. As far as a potential director goes, all my favorites are currently tied up right now. James Wan is doing Aquaman's sequel, definitely. David F. Sandberg is working on Shazam, Adam Wingard has Kong vs. Godzilla, and Leigh Whannell has the Invisible Man movie to direct, and he's also writing a script for a remake of Escape from New York, so they're all really busy. My most far-fetched pick would obviously be John Carpenter coming back and directing a second movie in the Halloween franchise, but I think he's having a little too much fun playing video games to do that. My other pick would be Ty West. He's kind of retired from horror, but he directed stuff like The House of the Devil, The Innkeepers, and The Sacrament, so I think he'd do a great job. And my final pick would definitely be Adam McDonald. If you don't know who he is, you need to go watch Pyewacket. I think it's still on Hulu, and he also directed a movie called Backcountry, but most interestingly, he just wrapped up filming on season 3 of Slasher for Netflix, which puts him in the right genre for a Halloween movie. It's obviously way too early to speculate, but I'm having a ton of fun coming up with ideas on how the franchise could be carried forward in the future. But now it's time to talk about the future of my channel. So obviously after Halloween came out, I kind of branched out and started covering other horror movies because I want my channel to grow, but Halloween is my favorite thing in the entire world. So as long as there's news to cover on it, I will keep making videos about it because I could just talk about it forever. With that being said, I'm never going to be the first person in your sub box with a new Halloween video. That's because A, I have a day job, and B, I like to meticulously write and edit my videos to make sure you're getting the best information possible and I'm not wasting your time, and of course so you have something fun and dynamic to watch. That's the best part about YouTube. I like that you guys have fun watching my videos, and that's why I'm down in the comments after every single one, answering every single one. I'm also planning on continuing One Good Scare. I am working on a Child's Play one right now. The reason I stopped doing them is because I was kind of nervous after Halloween came out that I was only getting people to watch those videos because they were searching for Halloween 2018, but a lot of you guys have asked me to continue that series, and I really appreciate it, and that's what makes all the hard work worth it. And the last little update here is I wanted to think of a name for my channel's community. So of course, because we all love Halloween 4, that's the first One Good Scare video I did, and it's honestly one of my favorite videos I've ever made. I thought it'd be cool if we called ourselves the Thorn Cult, because then we can tell our friends we're in a cult, but we're not actually in a cult, because cults are generally pretty bad, and there's no rules to follow with this one. All you have to do is subscribe. So it's like being in a cult, but it's really just people you can talk to about movies you like, and there's really no negative repercussions there. So I think it's a good name overall. But anyway, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for the first episode of season 2 of Halloween Alert. Let me know what you think of all my channel updates down in the comments below, and who you'd like to direct the new Halloween sequel. Anyway, guys, my name is Jimmy Champane, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.